there's still millions of them, and there's millions of us, but there's no millions of in-betweens. Oh, okay. Destiny Lab, you guys know him. Go see him. Go check him out. Go buy some music from him. Give it a listen. It's awesome stuff. Okay. Okay, we'll do that later. Anyway, on with the show. Let me jump down here and grab my Skype thingy and get everybody added into the call. There's David F. Town Balla. Lance said he's going to be late, but he's lit, so I'm going to add him in. Skype Lance Mussa. Prepper Chicks is supposed to be here. She said she was going to be here. I might have to text her. She's not lit. We'll add her into the call and see what happens, though. See how many people answer. There's David. Hey, David.
What's up, Jimmy?
How you feeling tonight, brother?
Oh, I'm all right.
You're all right? That's good. Being all right's good. It's good.
How you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. I'm actually pretty excited. Got some calls from some random people on my telephone today and asking me to come do work for them and stuff, and that's always a good thing. So I'll be traveling tomorrow and Friday, going around to some new towns and servicing some shears for some ladies at some salons and stuff. So it's a good deal. It's a good deal. It's nice to get random calls out of nowhere that you're not expecting. What's up, Lance?
What up, brother? What up, Dave?
What's up, Lance?
Let me get Lori text Lori on the phone here and find out where she's at. All right. Okay, so let's go on with the show, man. What do you want to talk about first?
I think McCain's about to die.
Do you? Why?
He's up in the Naval Hospital in Maryland, and then Joe Biden was on there talking to McCain's daughter today, on TV, on her show or whatever it was, telling him how strong he was for Bo and everything else. And so I think he's about gone.
Didn't he just get his foot put in
go?
Didn't he just get his foot put in the cast recently though?
He's having side reaction from the chemotherapy or something like that. So it doesn't sound like it's going well for the cat.
Got to pay the piper.
Is that what you heard too, Dave? You heard something like that?
Yeah, I seen it just on the news at 5:30. The NBC Nightly News. It sounded like he's not going to be coming out of the hospital.
Right. Exactly.
Well,
and I felt bad for going, finally. I felt bad for saying that earlier. But, I mean, he's a fucking warmonger, and he's killed so many of our people, of our soldiers for
he's a war hero.
Wars
he's a war hero.
He's just a fucking
he's a war hero from what they tell you in the mainstream media. Well, okay. So you're awake.
Is there a TV on somewhere? I keep hearing a TV or something.
Nope, not here. I don't have a TV. I mean, I do, but it's being used as a
not here. Monitor. I got it on mute when I'm not talking. So.
That's better. I don't hear it anymore. So.
All right. Maybe it was the guy in the NSA van up the road listening to the.
I was going to say it's the carryover from the van down the street.
All right, let's dive in, man. What's the first story you got on your stack of stuff over there, David?
This is like national news here. Just came out tonight. It's Kentucky State Representative Dan Johnson. He was under investigation for alleged sexual molestation. He committed suicide tonight. He hung himself off a bridge.
Oh, yeah, that's the one you just posted that like a half hour before the show. Yeah. Keep going on that one.
He was under investigation for sexual imposition and stuff with some of his interns, and got all accused, and they started investigating.
But it was all just accusation. I mean, there was no formal charges filed against him yet or anything.
There was no formal charges. It was all accusations.
He was adamantly denying everything that had happened, blah, 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 blah. So now he just goes and does a Brody off the bridge.
Yep. He posted a Facebook post tonight, like 5 p.m. right before he did it, basically saying calling people false gods and people judging them that they're wrong and all this other stuff. So Basically told everybody off, then went and hung himself.
You just gave him something to talk about, brother. Okay, whatever. I told you guys, we've been telling you for weeks. Yeah, we've been telling you for weeks. This is going to reach into all forms of government, all forms of state government. It's gonna reach out everywhere. This pedophile, child trafficking, sexual molestation. It's going to reach to everywhere. Everywhere. Go ahead.
And it's to the point where guys are hanging themselves now.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so this leads right into Roy Moore losing to the Democrat, whatever. You just can't, and he's fighting the charges still, right? Everything that so far that I've heard of all the accusations against him, they all sound like complete horse shit to me. Gloria Allred won't put out the book or whatever that he supposedly signed because it's been altered and she knows it's been altered and blah. It's whatever. But the dummy crap got in there though, right? Amazingly.
Well, I do know one thing about Moore. He got banned. It was even reported by the police. He got banned by the mall for trolling teenage girls.
Yeah.
So he was a bit of a perv, obviously.
So was Denny Hastert. They've been in office for a long time, man.
Well, look at what's his name, that big college, Paterno. Was it Paterno?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
was
the at Penn State or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now his son just got busted for the same thing, going to prison too.
Paterno didn't get busted. It was his assistant.
Yeah,
Paterno,
that other one.
Right,
but Paterno knew
had
about
a heart attack and died the week.
No, it wasn't Paterno. It was a different one. It was another big college one that got.
Yeah, it was Paterno's assistant.
Was it his son, and now his son's going to prison?
Yeah.
For the same thing?
Yeah, I can't remember this guy's name, but it was Paterno's assistant, longtime assistant coach. Because after it became known, the guy went home over that weekend and died of a heart attack because he was so brokenhearted.
Yeah, Sandusky. That's it.
Sandusky, that's him. Yep.
Yeah, now his son's going to prison for sexual bullshit.
It's good. It's going to go everywhere.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry Sandusky. Was that his name?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to go everywhere. This is going to be like the black goo that they're trying to push on everybody. It's going to permeate everything, every part of fucking society. And take it easy with the candy wrapper over there, man. Shit's pretty loud. Anyway, so Lori had a cake in the oven. She's booting as we speak, so she'll come in there, and then we all get a free slice of cake. Tell her I said so.
I've seen her cookbook. I'm not sure if I want a piece of cake.
the coffee table book that she had from back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember that too.
Cook it with semen or whatever.
Shut the fuck up. Don't even need to bring it up on the show. No. See, Lance and I, we go way back. I was just talking to myself about that earlier too. You are probably the very best friend that I've ever made online, quote unquote. Because we've never met in person, still to this day, and we've known each other.
I said that to somebody else too the other day.
We've known each other for well over 5, 6, probably going closer to 7 years or more.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know. It's shocking sometimes how long we've known each other.
I thought of you today when I walked outside for a smoke break, and it was 11 degrees, and the wind was just blowing cold, and it was cold out there. But I'm telling you what, the whole sky was a crisscross pattern of chemtrails, and I was like, "What the fuck?" They took everywhere, and I thought of you.
They took 2 days off over here for a while, but then they started back up last night, and all day today it was the same deal. But they did take 2 days off. We got 2 day laps I didn't see a single one in the sky, which was nice. But yeah, they're just never going to run out of fucking product to dump on us.
Lori heard you talking shit about her.
Oh yeah, I can hear you, bastards. We were talking about the cookbook, Lori, the cookbook from back in the day that you guys had a show about. So, I said that you were going to give everybody a free piece of cake because you're cooking a cake, and Lance said, I don't know if I want a piece of cake, man. I remember that cookbook.
That's right.
All right, moving on.
But I'm proud of the people of Alabama.
For what? For being
for not
for
voting
still
that
being
douchebag in.
For still being part of the fucking paradigm that believes in the left-right bullshit.
No,
they should have voted for fucking Cookie Monster
for the
or
controversy, just so we can finally. And yeah, it may have all been bogus and hocus pocus bullshit, but at least we can say they didn't vote him in after all these accusations.
Right,
I mean,
because if one of them turns out to be
showed
true,
up to the polls for the first time in a dark red state to turn blue.
I got to say something though, man. He's been in politics for a long time already. Why didn't any of these fucking accusations come up before now?
And a judge.
Well, I think they were always there. It's just someone paid these women to come out.
I don't, man. Come on, some of the fucking accusations against him are complete bullshit, and you can see it. I just got.
I think they paid a lot of these women to come out. I think, like I said, he was banned from that mall, and to me, that's good enough. I don't give a fuck if these women are real or not. 33-year-old man fucking trolling teenage girls at a mall where the sheriff had to ban his ass.
I do. Yeah, I do agree with that. And I'm full on with Lance. I'm glad that they didn't vote him in.
Serving on top of it.
Yeah, I'm glad that they didn't vote him in. Because eventually something's going to come out, and one of the accusations is going to find, it's going to find its way home and be true, and then, another Bill Clinton.
Trump needs to be put out there too. Fuck him. I don't give a fuck about the dude either way. He's got to prove he's a perv too.
Yeah.
Grab him by the pussy. That's good enough to tell you how he is.
That's his whole demeanor toward women in general. So
yeah, he called that one woman senator pretty much a prostitute for money on Twitter yesterday.
Mm-hmm. That's his man. I'm telling you what, his ego is going to get the best of him one of these days.
Huckabee would say, "Your mind's in the gutter."
Yeah, exactly. Fucking, I can't stand that line, bitch. Gets up there, gets paid to stand up there and just spew fucking lies. And they all do. Not
look
just
at her.
her.
Look at her last day. What is she? She's married to
president.
Barry Sanders' kid, or to Senator Sanders' kid, right? And she's from Mike Huckabee's bloodline, so she's a politician through and through. She's got lying down to a science.
And all those White House, spokesmen like that for a Democrat or Republican, you're nothing but a paid liar. That's what that job consists of.
Look at Ari Fleischer. Ari Fleischer was just, god damn, man. Stephanopoulos, they gave that sumbitch a fucking show on television after that. God. Whatever.
Did you see the parody that movie star did of Sarah Sanders though, where she was putting on eyeshadow with a paint roller and stuff like that? Dude, I'm telling you what, that was the funniest shit I've ever seen in a long time. I felt bad for the lady because I'm like, oh man, that poor girl, they're fucking brutalizing her. But I'm like, that's some funny shit right there.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It was making its rounds over the talk shows this weekend.
Hi, Lori.
Hello.
How's the cake turn out?
It's cooling, so I can frost it.
Very nice. But don't even tell me what
with cream cheese. It's really cream cheese.
Okay.
I swear.
Okay.
They just had a good size earthquake just hit Oregon.
Oh yeah.
Like how big?
4.0.
Oh, they barely felt
that.
It
was shallow too, and they felt it all the way to Portland. They said it was wide felt, and they're still looking for damage. They said there's going to be damage. They just don't know where yet.
Ooh. There's been 5.0 quakes every day, since the last show I did a week ago. Every day they turn up on my fucking iPad because I got an app that tells you, all kinds of earthquakes all over the planet, and every day there's a list of them, and they're all over 5s. So a couple volcanoes are going off, and it's so that's just a daily thing now.
She's pissed off.
Yep. It's because we've been shitting all over for years and years and years. All right. What's the next story you guys want to dive? You want to stick on the Roy Moore shit for a little bit, or let's get Lori's opinion? What's your opinion on the Roy Moore's thing? down in Alabama. Alabama.
Oh, I think we open up a whole can of worms. Everybody that doesn't want somebody in office is going to make up shit now. I'm not saying it's not true, and I don't know all the details because I just
and you can't, you know, when you start casting shadows on the girls throwing accusations, then you get the whole hammer from the fucking, you know, the lefty liberal. Well, you don't think you just think that everybody's lying about their sexual orientation? Oh, well, whatever, man. You know, people make up shit. People make up shit. It's
going to get worse.
And they do it for a reason. It's politically motivated, and you can tell that it's politically motivated. So, you know, whatever. You're going to catch flack from both sides.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And you know, I'll say this, and I'm not saying I'm a Trump fan or anything like that, but we all know what he was about when he was elected. He was a playboy. I mean, everybody in their fucking... You'd have to live under a rock not to understand that.
Egomaniac at the wheel.
We saw though what they were up to when they started, you know, with what's his name? Oh, the goofy guy from Saturday Night Live, that stepped down. All of them are stepping down now. But they did that shit when they were in office, you know, and they should be subjected to investigation. And if Trump does it in office, he should be too. But are we going to drag up every fucking Tom, Dick, and Cheryl now that I just...
Unfortunately, to continue with the distraction. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done with it. I'm not paying attention to it because I think there's other things going on that are more important. Like what's going on with Jerusalem, like what's going on in Syria. Russia hasn't pulled troops yet that I know of. Did they, Dave?
What's that?
Did Russia pull troops yet out of Syria?
You know, America's saying they didn't, even though Putin said he did. America says they've got satellite intelligence, and I don't know. That's
he just made the announcement 2 days ago, man. I mean, it's not like they can pack up a couple of bases and ship them home in 48 hours. You know, give them a minute.
You know,
but he said it was going to be immediate. And
immediate could be within the month.
More important things going on than
Harvey Weinstein and his crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we know, we've made fun of it. I mean, it's part, I hate to say it, but it's part of our fucking culture.
But it's like I was saying earlier, man, it's going to reach everywhere, though. This is going to be nonstop. On a daily basis, somebody's going to get accused of being a deviant or a pedophile or whatever the fuck,
I think they sold Franken down the river just so they could, and a few other ones, just so...
Look, man, I couldn't give two
Trump.
squirts of piss what they did to Stuart Smalley. That fucking dude never deserved to be in our government in the first place. He's a fucking actor.
Aren't they all?
Well, I'm just saying, you know, I mean, if you have to have a government, why can't it be of the people? That we should have people in the senators and congressman positions that are shoe salesmen, that are fucking linemen for electrical crews. Those are the people that should be running this country, not a bunch of overpaid shithead prima donna pedophiles.
It doesn't fit their agenda.
I'm just saying, if you're going to have a government, that's the kind of government that there should be.
It depends on how what your objective is. They've got it.
You're completely missing my point. You're completely missing my point. No, let's move on.
Their hands in their balls is where our government's at.
We're
done.
What do you got next, Dave?
We're talking about North Korea here. You know, yesterday, Secretary of State there, Tillerson, came out and said that we dropped all preconditions for talks with North Korea. That basically told the North, you know, you need to come to the table. No preconditions. We're not going to, we were saying that, they had to give up their nuclear weapons first before we talk to them. Now we're saying, you can keep them. Just come and talk. We can talk about anything you want. This is what he said. We can talk about the weather. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Let's just sit down and talk.
Didn't he just say a couple of weeks ago, the time for talking with North Korea is over?
Trump's been saying that. Tillerson's been saying that he wanted talks the whole time.
Oh, okay.
And every time Tillerson opens his mouth says he wants talks, Trump undercuts him.
My bad. I thought that was Tillerson that said that.
Oh. Tillerson and Mattis, the Secretary of Defense, they both are strong believers in a peaceful ending to this. It's Trump that keeps telling them, stepping on their dicks every time they talk.
Okay.
And so anyway, Tillerson came out yesterday and said, no preconditions, let's just sit down and talk, North Korea. But then on the flip side, he said that us and China, we told China that when the war breaks out, our main prerogative is to secure their nuclear weapons. We will pull our troops back to the DMZ once we get the nuclear weapons secured, and we gave China our word. They said this is it. On the words of that, China has started building refugee camps on their border, big ones. And so this is going to happen. This is a combination. China's going to let us do it on our word that we secure these weapons, but then we pull back to the DMZ. Now, whether we
preemptive strike.
What's that?
They're going to let us do a preemptive strike.
Well, the way it sounds is, once we told them the only thing we don't want the regime to fall. We don't want to even kill Kim Jong-un, which we know that's a lie, but we don't want to kill him. We just want to secure his nuclear weapons. And we've worked out some kind of deal that's going on with China. What's going to happen to those nukes if we're going to relinquish them to China and say, here, we're going to trust you with them, or if we're going to keep them for ourselves, that's kind of blurry right now. But what we did tell China, what Tillerson said yesterday, is what we did tell China is when we go in, we will pull back to the parallel. We will pull back to the DMZ. We gave them our word. And so, China's like, all right. And then right after that, China just started building these refugee camps. So there's some kind of agreement between us and China right now.
So who are we going to send in to secure these weapons? Rodman? Dennis Rodman? Is that who they're going to tap to go in there and grab a hold of these fucking nukes and drag them out to the DMZ? Come on, man. This is complete horseshit.
We told them we're sending our troops in. We told China that we're going to invade them. If a war does break out, we got to go in. We're going in on the land. We're going to secure the nuclear weapons. And once we get them secured, we're pulling our troops back. And China started building refugee camps right after that talk. That's an ominous sign that there's some kind of agreement between China and America right now.
This has to be completely against the law somewhere. You just can't invade a fucking nation because you don't like the way they run their fucking country, man. You just can't do it. You can't.
It is what it is. That's what we run off of. And the deal is, China's is going to allow this to happen too. It just shows you us, Russia and China do work together.
This is going to be ugly. The reason that they're building the evacuation camps is because as soon as we step across the border, Kim's going to start setting shit off everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's the reason.
This is going to be a shitstorm for sure.
I hope anybody out there that's listening to the sound of my voice, I hope none of your children are in the military right now. This is going to get ugly.
But the deal is this, Tillerson gave them the ultimatum. You need to come to talks. We're dropping preconditions. You come right now, or this is what's going to happen. We're just giving them either choice. We're not saying how long we're giving them. But Tillerson said you need to come to the table immediately. We're dropping our preconditions. Have you given up your nukes? Please come and talk to us right now. If not, here's the flip side. And so it came out today that they're moving a rocket. Little Kim's going to most likely launch an ICBM this Sunday, and it's the anniversary of his dad dying. That's not going to be good. What's funny, though, is after Tillerson came out yesterday and said no preconditions, guess what? Trump came out today and said, bullshit. Says the only way we're talking to you is if you give up your nukes. So we walked it back. After Tillerson tried to walk it forward, we walked it back to you got to give up your nukes again. That's what Trump said today. Undercut Tillerson again. So I don't understand what's going on with the Trump administration. I don't think it's a good cop, bad cop. I really don't, because little Kim don't play that game.
No, I think
the deal is
Tillerson's towing the line for the establishment, and I still think that Trump's ego plays over everything. His ego is in control of his fucking mouth, and it's going to wind up getting him in trouble because he's.
Well, it's going to get us all in trouble.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's going to get him in trouble before it gets the rest. Well, I don't know about that, but you know what I mean.
Bonkers, we're getting bombed.
Yeah, he's gonna wind up catching a bullet or something, though. I mean, if he's absolutely rogue, I don't know. Jared Kushner's got the whole Israeli thing lined up and wrapped up and all that. So I don't know.
Well, like I said, and that's what's going on with North Korea right now. And one thing that came out is we were supposed to hold annual military drills with South Korea. We hold them every year. I forgot the name of them. We were supposed to hold them in January.
We've been having drills since January, for Christ. All fucking year long we've been having drills.
Yeah. Well, the thing with this, it's like a 2-week drill in January. Of course, the Olympics are in February. So South Korea asked us, says, can we please put this off until April? We don't want to make any more tension over here with the Olympics coming up. Ticket prices are already slow enough. They're like, can we hold these drills off? Because we don't want to do any kind of provoking before the Olympics. So let's hold these drills after the Olympics because Olympic tickets aren't selling.
I'd be willing to bet you that most of the athletes don't want to go to this one. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Well, you're hearing double speak with that too. You got Nikki Haley there saying that our athletes probably shouldn't be going, and you got Trump saying bullshit. I'm sending all of them.
And we're going to give them M16s, and we're going to teach them.
That's what I mean. You got everybody in Trump's cabinet that says a different thing. And you got Haley saying we shouldn't send them. You got Trump saying we should send them. You got Tillerson saying we shouldn't bomb North Korea. You got Trump saying we should bomb North Korea. None of it makes sense. It's chaos.
Would you go?
No. Hell no.
Won't go to the ones in Japan either.
Last time the Summer Olympics were held in Seoul, I think in the 80s, I was reading today, Little Kim's father shot down a jet airliner in trying to delay the Olympics. His father shot down a commercial airline.
Jeez.
Because he was pissed off about the Olympics being in Seoul. So, Little Kim could do something. I really do think he could.
Was the airliner
he'd be right there on the world stage? All the TV cameras there from around the world.
Was the airliner full of athletes that was shot down? I don't remember that. You said it was back in the 80s?
I think it was in the 80s. I read today. I don't think it was athletes. I think it was just a plane.
I'm just wondering if it was full of because I don't remember anything about that.
No, I don't think it was. I don't know if it was full of athletes. He just shot down a plane though. And they said it was him trying to stop the Olympics from happening in Seoul.
I don't doubt that for a minute.
And so, they think his son's even crazier. So, who knows with that. So anyway, we agreed to put these military drills off until February. We agreed with that, but it's really dangerous them having the Olympics in February with what's going on, man.
I got to say though, when you're comparing crazy, when you look at Kim and Trump, I mean, Trump's no fucking. I mean, he's no spring rain, if you will. So, I guess crazy's all in how you interpret crazy. As far as Kim, the only thing we know from him is what we get off the mainstream media, and we know that they're full of fucking lies, right? So, unless you do some background on him. Try to find some real info on him, but it's hard to do.
Well, little Kim, he's married. He's got 2 kids. He's got another one on the way.
He's college educated. It's
educated from Switzerland and stuff.
Yeah.
And he likes the finer things in life. He likes Cuban cigars. He likes cognac. He likes Jack Daniels.
He's cultured.
He likes playing Xbox. And so he's a king over there. I wouldn't see him even if he had nukes. And this is just my opinion. I wouldn't think he would strike, because I do believe the guy when he says this is for defensive measures only. This is so America can't take my country like they've taken others.
Right. And he's got a valid point when he says that.
He does have a valid point. And you want to be you want to be a statist and not believe that, but he does have a valid point. So many states, I see him on Twitter all the time. Bomb him, kill him, do that. It's like, he's building weapons to defend himself from an empire that's invaded other countries. I mean, look at Iraq, look at Libya.
That's been fucking with his country for 60 plus years. We've been fucking with North Korea since before he was born.
Yep.
So that's what he grew up with. That's what he grew up knowing. Here's another thing I got to bring up just because about nuclear weapons. Israel's never offered up any of their nuclear weapons. They don't let anybody come in and inspect any of their nuclear weapons. They're a rogue nation, if you will, by all descriptions, because they don't report their nuclear weapons to anybody. They're not beholden to anybody. The IAEA doesn't have an office in Tel Aviv. So the whole kerfluffle about nuclear weapons is kind of one-sided.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% with that. You know, Israel's never been required. We've always defended them in the UN. Every time it'll come up ever so often where they'll bring up, you know, that Israel needs to allow inspectors in and declare them all. And every time America stands up and blocks it.
Whatever. It's old hat, man. It's getting to be so old hat, dude. I mean,
you know, I believe we've probably gave Israel a number of nukes on top of the ones they make themselves.
Right. Technology, at least.
You know,
send all of our really, really smart guys over there.
60 to 80 warheads right now.
So that gives Iran reason for, you know, to be on guard, and everybody else around them, because they want the giant Israel.
Well, you know, our intelligence agencies the other day reported that North Korea this spring, what was it, March of this year, sent 3 nuclear warheads to Iran through Russian and Chinese airspace. That you know, our agencies know this for a fact. Now, whether they do or not, I don't know, but that's what was reported, and that 3 of them went to Tehran. You know, now they're also saying that Little Kim, you know, is manufacturing chemical weapons again,
like they were doing over in Iraq. Yeah, the ones that we never found. Is that the same guys making them? Probably the CIA.
Well, we know he has some, not just us, but everybody does. He's touted them before. You know, even Russia and China said, yeah, North Korea's got a big.
Where do you think he got his nuclear weapons from? You know. Mm-hmm. He got all that technology from China and Russia and Iran, and whoever the fuck else would sell it to him. So,
well, Iran and North Korea work hand in hand. Every time North Korea tests a nuclear weapon over there, there's at least 6 to 8 Iranian scientists watching it.
Right. Probably because it's their technology. They want to see if it goes off.
That wouldn't surprise me either. I believe, you know, that Iran can manufacture nuclear weapons. I don't care what that, you know, nuclear pact says. I still think they do.
Yep.
They've got plenty of underground sites over in Tehran that weren't included in that six-party agreement with them.
Yep.
That's the only way they would sign it, if they could keep a few of them open for quote unquote research and science.
Right. Centrifuges. They're just producing. They're just producing low grade
centrifuges.
Yeah. We're just making low grade, though. It's only for nuclear reactors, I promise.
Well, I know we make Iran ship out a certain amount of heavy water. There's inspectors over there, and once they hit a certain level, they got to ship so much out to Russia,
so they can produce it.
Yeah, so they can produce it for them. Well,
you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. That's the way it works everywhere,
man. That was an
man.
Obama agreement, you know, and that's where I can't stand Obama. I hated his foreign policy, man. He was so fucking liberal with the Iranians. He let them get away with everything.
Do you want to say something, Lori?
Nope.
Okay.
Was I making too much noise?
No, I just saw your ring light up around your thingy on Skype, and usually that means
Excuse me?
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry. Anyway. I didn't mean for my thing to
light up. Your ring. Okay, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's just a distraction.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
I don't know what I did to make it do that. I'm going to try it again now and see what I can do.
Okay. Every time you talk, that's all you got to do is talk, and it lights up around you.
But I wasn't talking.
Okay. You must have farted or something.
Nope, didn't do that either.
Okay.
I would own up to that.
I'm sure you would. All right, what else are we going to talk about, man? What about this whole Syria situation? So Russia's claimed and they've pretty much done. I mean, they've shown everything they've done. They've claimed that they've ridded the scourge of ISIS and the rebels from all of Syria, and they're going to go ahead and close their bases except for a couple, and then they're going to pull troops out except for a few, and Assad gets to stay in until the next election.
Yeah.
So everything that was going on 6 or 7 years ago, before they destroyed the entire fucking country and all the really nice cities and shit, is still going to go on now that everybody's moving out. Basically, it was 6 years worth of fucking money and war and bombs and dead people and destruction and for nothing. Because it was, I mean, the whole precedent, right, was Assad's got to go. Assad's got to go. There's no future of Syria with Assad at the helm. He's got to go.
Man, we paid people to destroy that country, man.
And they did it really good. You guys have seen?
They made a lot of money off of arms.
Oh fuck yeah, man! Did you see the video of Damascus? The overhead shots. Oh my god, that place is just leveled. And that's not the only place. I mean, all the little pockmarked towns that are between the border of Israel and.
Well, yeah, Aleppo got leveled. That was their biggest city.
So with all this going on now, and we claim that we are the ones that wiped off ISIS off the maps. Our guys
I'd
did all the
laugh
good
when I
work.
see that. I said, you know what? We didn't do shit. Russia did it all.
There was proven videotaped reports of us funding them and giving them weapons for shit's sake.
You
know, I don't know.
We
It's just
created them,
laughable, man.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Us and Saudi and Israel.
But now, I mean, now that Russia has claimed that they're gone and they've ridded Syria, what's going to? We don't have to worry about Israel going across the border anymore.
Well,
the
what's
Iranian
next is
bases
this,
aren't no
Jimmy.
big deal, or what? Go ahead.
Today, ever since Trump made that Jerusalem announcement, Hamas has been launching more and more rockets every day into Israel now, and their rockets aren't shitty. They go wherever they want, and most of them they've launched have fallen within Gaza itself. Like Hamas launched one today at Israel and it fell short and fell through a Palestinian school and killed some kids. They've had a couple land in Israel. They had a couple today. I think since last week's announcement, 16 rockets have been launched at Israel. Israel's been responding with their F-16s, and like they always do. And today really got bad. Israel came out today and closed the border crossings in Gaza for tomorrow. So if there's one more rocket, you're going to get a pounding like you got in 2014, the last time they really went to war. Hamas has officially declared a third intifada on Israel yesterday. It was official. Their leader came out. Israel captured their leader yesterday in West Bank, threw him in prison last night.
I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, they got him, and they threw him in prison along with some other guys they rounded up.
Now, is this the Iranian Hamas leader, or is this the Palestinian Hamas leader? Because there's two of them over there.
I think it's about the Palestinian one.
Okay, go ahead.
And so in retaliation today, there's like 3 different groups over in Gaza now. Hamas isn't the only one there anymore. You've got 2 other Iranian groups too. All 3 of them are controlled by Iran. They all get funded and trained and everything. And for a little while, Hamas had split from Iran because of some kind of issue. But just of like this beginning of this year, Iran took them back and started funding them again.
Politics.
And so, yeah. And so
Hamas is actually aren't they actually
rockets.
recognized a governmental organization?
Nope.
Isn't that true? I mean, isn't that true that they're recognized by the UN and as a governmental organization, not just a terrorist organization?
I know we recognize them as a terrorist group.
Right. I know, but I thought that they were actually a political organization over there in the Middle East.
Well, they're a resistance group against Israel, and they're involved in the politics in Gaza. But they're big in the politics, just like Hezbollah is in Lebanon.
Okay, go ahead. It was just a rabbit hole. Sorry.
But anyway, they after that Palestinian Hamas leader got captured today, Hamas launched 5 rockets on Israel. 2 of them got blown up by the Iron Dome system, but 3 others got through. One struck a street somewhere, and 2 landed in an open area. But that made like 16 rockets now launched on Israel in 1 week since Trump made that announcement.
Because they've been beating the shit out of every Palestinian they can find in fucking Israel. You know,
they're having
as soon as
protests there.
Yeah.
Israel's using live fire on a lot of them.
They're showing videotapes of the IDF going through stores and stealing food and shit and just taking it.
Yeah, you're right. And,
Soren Prar in the room. Hang on just 1 second. I want to, before I lose this. In the room, Soren Prar made a really good comment. It says, I know it sounds horrible, the world being described here, but what do we see outside our windows? Not the one being described, I bet. And that's one thing I want everybody to keep in their mind. This crap that we're talking about, this horrible fucking shit that we're talking about that's happening all over the world, it's not happening outside your door. So get outside every day, get some sun on your face, enjoy yourself, hug your kids, kiss your pets, you know, just keep on keeping on, please. Go ahead. Sorry. Thank you, Soren, for bringing that up too, brother.
Well, you're right, you know, but what's happening with Israel, like I said, ever since Trump made that announcement that Jerusalem's the capital, it's going to shit city, man. And Israel, their defense minister came out today and told Lebanon directly in a big radio interview today that in another war with Hezbollah in Lebanon, we will send Lebanon, what do you say, back to the Stone Age.
Not until I'm dead.
Basically, Israel has come out and said, and I've talked about this on your show, and they reiterated it again today. If we go back to war with Hezbollah in Lebanon, which is looking like we're fixing to real soon, we're going to blow everything up. There won't be a building standing. We don't care if it's civilian. We don't care if it's a school. We don't care if it's a hospital. We don't care if it's a military installation. Every single structure will be a target.
Why? What's the point?
The point is what they say, and I've seen, and I think there's somewhat truth to this over in the Middle East, is that Hezbollah puts all their rocket launchers next to schools, next to civilian houses, next
so what,
to.
Is this little blow off at the mouth? Is it supposed to be a warning for everybody to get the fuck out of the country?
Well, I don't know. You know, Hamas does the same thing with their rocket launchers. They put them next to people's houses. They put them in playgrounds. And they put them wherever. That way, when Israel does strike them, they can then claim, oh, shit, you just killed 10 kids. Well, maybe if you didn't have your rocket launcher in the middle of a playground, 10 kids would still be alive. You know, so there is some truth to that. What Hamas and Hezbollah do, it's a tactic that these Iranian proxy groups have used for decades. Let's put this rocket launcher in this playground. That way it's a human catastrophe when it gets struck.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way terrorists work.
I know.
The truth. But Israel could be compassionate and say, we're only going to hit military installations. But no, the Israelis don't have a lot of compassion for Hamas or for Lebanon or for Gaza. They don't. And so they're like, screw the compassion. We're going to hit targets. We don't care where they're at. And it's to send a warning to Hezbollah, don't start a war. You don't want Lebanon leveled, and it just got rebuilt from the 2006 war Israel had with Hezbollah.
I know.
They just now started getting tourism back. It's a beautiful country. And they just now started getting tourism back, and the deal is the Lebanese government. The United States supports the Lebanese government. Matter of fact, we just sold them multi-million dollars of military equipment.
Because we installed them in 2006.
Yeah, we support what we don't support is Hezbollah.
Yeah,
and Hezbollah is deeply embedded in the Lebanese government. Saad Hariri, this whole sham that he pulled for 3 weeks fell through. He came out today and officially said he reversed his resignation and he's staying prime minister. So I don't know what happened with that, man. That was screwy with him for a while.
You got to wonder who was talking to who when all that was going on. He took the little trip to France, and then supposedly Egypt. Hollande got involved with it and saved his ass, or whoever the fuck is up there now as the president. I think it's Hollande still. But that was just super fucking hinky.
Yeah, so you
got to know he was getting his life threatened when he rescinded his position when he was sitting in Saudi Arabia. There was some guy standing on the other side of the camera with a gun pointed at him or something. I don't know. That was just hinky. Go ahead.
So that was interesting what the hell ever happened with that. But anyway, he's staying as prime minister now. But, the stuff with Israel and the deal is, this is where I have a problem. And with Trump making that announcement last week, for one, what right does America have to tell any country what their capital is? That'd be like Canada coming here and telling us our new capital is fucking Chicago or something.
Right.
No one has a right to do that. And I don't understand how we do have the right, how that can be internationally legal to do something like that. To declare that this is this country's capital. I've never heard of it before. They said the last time something like this happened, what Trump did the other day, was the Roman Empire, right before they fell.
The Jerusalem has been the capital of Palestine for thousands of years, man. Way before there was ever an Israel, there was a Jerusalem.
Palestinian land.
There was a Jerusalem. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know.
What Israel's doing to the Palestinians is no different from what we did to the Native Americans.
It's got to be biblical in some way, shape,
and I think it is. I think that announcement Trump made was completely biblical. And
because Netanyahu went straight to the Bible saying, "We are the chosen people." It says right here.
Yeah. And so but it was also, I think there was more of a political motive behind what Trump did. The more I read around and stuff, and it was a poke at Iran.
Well, look, Bill Clinton tried to do this back in the 90s.
Yep.
Or I don't know if he tried to do it or if he just mentioned something about it. But look, there is no other country that has their anything to do with Jerusalem. Everything's in Tel Aviv. All the other embassies are in Tel Aviv. No other country has anything in Jerusalem except for now the United States. Supposedly, we're gonna.
There's a montage of the last 4 presidents all saying Jerusalem is the capital of Israel and I'm moving the embassy to Jerusalem. The last 4 presidents have all said the same thing. Google it.
Yeah.
Fox did a beautiful, sketch or, where they had the pieces of every one of those presidents saying the exact same thing that Trump did. And now that Trump did it, the world's falling apart. But Google it. All 4 presidents have said the exact same thing when they took office. So I'm not sure how this is any different than what the last 4 presidents have said. It's been we've recognized it as a government for a while.
But the deal is there was no order signed like Trump signed the other day. He put a signature down and said, this is official.
Well, the signature was signed 20-something years ago, and they've been kicking the can down the road every 6 months. So the can stopped here. So it just leads me to believe that this is where the can was supposed to stop. Every other president was doing their role, if you will, acknowledging that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel and saying that we were going to move our embassy there. Every single one of them has said it. And then every 6 months they extend it. Well, why did it stop right now?
No,
the problem.
He did extend it 6 months, didn't he? As soon as he spoke, as soon as he said,
did. He has still extended it 6 months.
The deal is
he still signed it.
What you're saying, Lance, I understand, but the deal with this is no president has came out and declared Jerusalem the capital of Israel. They've all said that
absolutely they have. Absolutely,
I'm looking at it right now.
Our last 4 presidents have all done it.
They've all promised to move the embassy to Jerusalem, but none of them has ever come out and said that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel.
That's
absolutely
true.
They have. Absolutely they have. There's a montage of all 4 of the presidents saying it's undeniable. Google it. I mean, it's undeniable
I do.
that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. I'll find the clip of all four of them, the Fox clip of all four of them saying it, and drop it in here for you.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure
this. Obama did say Jerusalem's the capital of Israel, but no one has ever put their signature on a piece of paper officially declaring it.
Okay.
Trump just did.
Yeah, because I was going to say, in the clip that I saw earlier, Bill Clinton said it was too. He said Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. We all know it.
But no one's officially signed it.
Right. Nobody's officially done any paperwork.
I don't think Trump did either. He didn't sign.
Yeah, he did.
He did. And then as soon as he signed that, he signed the put it off for 6 months thing.
6 month order. Yeah.
He signed both.
Right. So that's why it was like a nothing burger. You know,
it's been a long-standing American government policy for the last 25 years that Trump just affirmed.
So why over the last 25 years, why haven't we heard the Palestinians bitching about this and all that? You know, every time a new president comes in,
why
now?
Fucking bitched about this until
now? Why now?
Because we needed the race war, we needed the Islam war, and it wasn't set 25 years ago to the intensity level that we're at right now. So again,
with
this
the Arab
is by
Spring.
design. It was designed by their government 25 fucking years ago, and now it's stopping.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Now they pulled the switch and said it's time for war. And this is what it's going to bring on. And the deal is, Trump knew what this was going to do. Netanyahu knew what this was going to do. You know, Russia knew this, what's going on. China knows what's going on. And the deal is, we're all playing our parts. And the deal, Netanyahu's got to hurry up and get this war going. He's fixing to go to prison for corruption. You know, and Trump, he's not in perfect shape right now either, you know, so that they want to hurry up and get this shit going in case something happens to either one of them. You know, it's the time. This is why we're trying to get shit going with the North. This is why we're trying to get shit going with Iran. You know,
Mark is asking in the room if it's a biblical thing for us to move our embassy to Jerusalem. I don't think that's the biblical part, Mark. I think the biblical part is them building the new temple, which is already underway, which nobody seems to be talking about. I don't think I've talked about it on this show either, but the construction of the new temple is underway, and that is biblical. And when that is done, holy shit.
They've got to rip down this other one, though, too.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see.
You know, I agree with Lance. This is done by design. It's completely done. It's done to get a war going.
Everything for the last 200 plus years has been done by design. That's how we're all stuck in this fucking paradigm that we're in. We had no clue what was going on. None of us had a clue. Our parents didn't have a clue. Our grandparents didn't have a clue.
No.
We've all been sucked into this unwittingly. We just have to pay the cost now, right?
Well, that's the beauty of the internet. Like now, people that are interested in finding out what's really going on can dig around and find out some truth. You know,
that's why they hate the internet. That's why they hate it. But there's nothing we can do about it now, right?
Glimpse of the future.
There's too many there's so many just completely pathetically stupid people that don't question any kind of authority figure that are just going to they're just going to get walked over. There's no way to stop this, I don't think. There's no way to stop it. We're going to go into World War III. It's going to be horrific. We're going to lose a lot of fucking lives. The United States is going to wind up catching some fucking ammo from somewhere, I promise you.
Yeah,
and it's going to be horrific.
You know, China, people don't understand. They say, people don't understand. Russia and China, all of our enemies, and you want to get into biblical stuff, all of our enemies, one thing in the Bible says Israel will stand alone, and that's what's happening right now. Ever since that Trump announcement, Jordan even came out. They've had a long-standing peace treaty with Israel since the 6-Day War. They came out yesterday and said, we're having parliament. We're going to reconsider this peace treaty after that announcement. So everybody is coming out against Israel, except for one. One Arab country is they're condemning Israel, but they're getting closer to them, and that's Saudi Arabia. Today, the Israeli minister came out. The Israeli minister came out today and offered for Saudi Arabia representative to go there, a high-level official. What do you call him? What's his name? It says Israel intelligence minister invites Saudi crown prince to visit.
Crown prince of what?
You know, so
go
Saudi and Israel are getting cozy.
It's because they're
It
both
came
the
out
same
today that
fucking people. They're the same breed of people.
Yeah. Well, it came out today that Bahrain, along with Saudi Arabia, both of them have opened up their airspace for Israeli jets because Bahrain's right there. You know, it's our fifth fleet Navy base. I was there a couple times, and we pretty much run that little island. But they said we're going to open up our airspace to if there's a war with Iran for Israeli jets. Greece has already opened up their airspace too. They said Israel can use that in a war with Iran for refueling
some money.
and whatever else.
Yeah, we'll open our airspace, but you got to stop at one of our airports and fuel up.
You know, all of our presidents are all pretty pro. Like I said, I stand with the country of Israel, not the government, not the Zionists. I stand with the country of Israel.
I don't know how much I stand with the country of Israel because a lot of the people that live there are a bunch of Zionist fucks too. You listen to the way they talk about other people.
I'm with anybody that's not a Zionist. And
even just a general Joe walking down the street, man. If you ask him what a Palestinian is, they'll spit on the ground and call him a fucking dog. You know, I don't get that, man.
That's the way people live over there. It's the way they're raised from a child.
Yeah, but you got to open up, man. You got to open your mind. You got to be, you got to evolve past that shit.
Yeah, well, it doesn't happen a lot in those countries, you know. We were fortunate to grow up here. I mean, yeah, there's racism here against blacks, Mexicans, foreigners. You know, it's everywhere.
Personally, now I don't give a shit what color you are. I don't care if you're black or white or purple or plaid or blue or orange. I don't care. I don't care where you come from. I don't care. I don't even care what church you go to. The only thing I care about for everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice right now is whether or not you know who the real God is and whether or not you're in touch with Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Because in the end, that's all that matters. If you've got those two things going for you, you're going to be all right. If you don't, you're fucked. End of rant. Go ahead.
So, you know, you got that going on, and you know, it's slow boil. You know, Israel has fought Hamas several times for like 30 days at a time, and it'll stop and then cool down. But what makes it different this time is that Iran is telling these groups, Hamas and these other two Iranian groups and Hamas are over in Gaza just to, you know, shoot off rockets when they can. You know, keep on doing it. You know, the big war, Israel can handle Hamas. That ain't the big war with Israel will be with Hezbollah when that comes down to it. Hezbollah's an army within itself.
It's going to be against Iran and Russia.
Yep, and it'll be against Iran and Russia. And you know, I think we're willing to take a chance to go to war with Iran, thinking that Russia's going to sit back. I think that's what we're hedging our bets on, or maybe we're not. Maybe we want a nuclear war with Russia.
Let's back the truck up for just a quick second and go back to the whole Tillerson Kim Jong-un thing. Okay, do you think that meeting, if it ever comes to fruition, that meeting is going to be a discussion of how many lives each side is going to give up in this battle?
Oh, it probably will. We'll probably tell them straight out, this is what's going to happen to your country. And he'll turn around and say, well, this is what's going to happen to your country, you know. There's going to be, I don't think we'll have these talks. It just won't happen. And, you know, and even if we did, they'd probably come out even worse. So I don't think, especially now that they walked it back and still said you got to give up your nuclear weapons. Kim announced the other day, he says, I'm going to make H-bombs, I'm going to make I-bombs, or A-bombs and H-bombs, and I'm going to keep on making my ICBM. So there you go. That was his response. He says, I'm going to be the biggest, this is what he said, I'm going to be the biggest nuclear power in the world when I'm done.
Delusions of grandeur.
You know, that ain't pushing for peace too much.
No. But then again, neither's Trump, so...
No, and that's exactly it. And then, you know, when you see that we've been talking to China and they're building their refugee camps, and we're telling them we'll pull our troops back after the war to the parallel line, something's in the offing there. And then here you got us pushing Israel and Saudi to take on Iran at the same time. This is the way I look at it.
Yeah, because the DMZ is well within range of the 4,000 plus artillery pieces that he's got pointed at the south. Yeah, okay. That's a safe.
Well, they said Seoul would be leveled within an hour, just as artillery alone, before we could take it off its cannons. They said, and there's over 10 million people or more in Seoul.
Yep.
And there's just no way you're going to evacuate that many people, especially trying to do it sneakily, like little Kim's not going to see it and know what's coming. As soon as he starts seeing people being evacuated, he's going to start shooting.
The shell's going to have a flight time of about 6 minutes max. You know, I mean, all he's got to do is pull a trigger. You won't even have time to light the sirens. Anyway.
You'll have hundreds of thousands of Koreans, Japanese will get hit, South Korea. Millions of North Koreans will die.
Yep.
And like I said, you don't know how China's really going to react. China could be sucking us in for something else. Yeah, come on in, America. We won't do nothing. They're the ones that chased us out of the first Korean War.
Because we were outgunned. We knew that one.
Go
ahead.
When this war goes full throttle on all fronts, and like I said, people don't want to think about it, and I don't live my life by it. This is just news I find interesting. I've done it since 2000, and I just find it interesting. It broadens my mind and lets me see reality. I'm a realist, and I understand it's not bad out my front door. But that shouldn't mean that I shouldn't be concerned about being bad out of someone's front door, because what usually happens on the other side of the world comes back to us. And look at that terror attack we had almost in New York City with that cat blowing himself up. That was all over Trump naming Jerusalem the capital of Israel. There's going to be more bombers come out like that here.
The guy was from...
Because this third intifada just doesn't include Israel. The leader of Hamas, Iran, even came out, the Ayatollah, and basically told all Palestinians and all people that stand with Palestine to hit America, to hit Israel.
Yeah.
And so what we seen in New York City the other day, we dodged a bullet there. That dude probably could have did some damage if he would have done it right at that time of the morning underground in those subway bus tunnels. Yeah, we're lucky there.
Dude, he didn't even kill himself.
Well, he
didn't have no shrapnel at all. It was just some light explosives, like he took apart a bunch of fireworks or something and taped them to his gut.
But there'll be more come out now because this is a serious issue.
But that was an organic thing, y'all, because you noticed that within less than an hour we had videotape of him walking through there. They pointed him out, blah blah. We still have yet to see any videotape from the Las Vegas shooting, just to bring you back to that one. Nothing.
I've seen on that, Jimmy. I've seen some big. I don't know if there was news organizations or what just sued the Las Vegas Police Department for not putting out evidence
because they're completely lying. Everything that comes out of anything to do with that fucking shooting out there is complete bullshit. They're lying through their teeth, and they've been caught.
And every so often with Sponge, you'll hear a survivor of it getting killed in a horrific car wreck.
Yep. Because they spoke out a little.
Killed a couple weeks ago that was in there in a horrific car wreck.
Yeah. It's amazing how that shit happens. All right, moving on.
So other than, war news wise, that's what's going on. And it's they're pushing for something really big. Oh, yeah, this is a big thing. Nikki Haley, our UN ambassador.
She's a puppet, man. I'll bet her.
She's going to come out on Thursday in front of all your press, worldwide press, they're saying. And she's going to present evidence. Iran is providing missiles to the Yemen rebels. It says evidence will include missile components. It says the Trump administration will present evidence Thursday of what it says is proof that Iran has provided missiles to the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Missiles like those the rebels have recently fired into Saudi Arabia, 3 defense officials said today.
Is that kind of like us giving the Sauds planes and weapons and stuff to bomb the Houthi rebels in Yemen? What? Okay, go ahead. Never mind. I just, I just had to play Captain Obvious for a minute.
Oh, yeah. It says the evidence, including missile components, is expected to be presented to reporters at Defense Intelligence Agency headquarters at Joint Base Anacostia, Bowling in Washington, according to the officials. There's saying that Nikki Haley will be involved in presenting the evidence. And it says the U.S. official says that some of the evidence will include components of 2 Qaem-1 liquid fuel ballistic missiles, which were recovered after Houthi rebels fired into Saudi Arabia in November and July. And says the official said that the missile's lack of typical stabilizer fins and other aspects of its engineering are proof that it originated in Iran. And the official said Iran is the only country in the world that manufactures these types of missiles, which the official called a wind bolt, a unique Iranian design, which we could have got anywhere.
Yeah, pick them up on the black market.
But anyway, Haley's doing.
They could have given them to Yemen 20 years ago too, for all we know. Well,
Haley's doing this to show the world and the 6 parties on that nuclear agreement that Obama signed that Iran just violated it because they're not supposed to be making these ballistic missiles. And so this is why she's doing it. She's doing it to get a war going with Iran. Iran knows this.
She's doing it because she's a puppet for the New World Order.
Well, that's it. But Iran's having its proxy groups, Hamas, and those other Iranian groups hit Israel with missiles. Yeah. And this is why this is going to get bad. We are poking for a war with North Korea, and we are poking for a war with Iran at the same time.
Both sides of the planet.
Yep. Our military strategist, whoever controls the wars like Kissinger, found the 2 hotspots to get World War III kicked off from, and those have always been the 2 hotspots.
Because it'll spread like wildfire, man. China's not going to be happy at all about shit going off on their border. Neither is South Korea or Japan because they're both within striking range, and so is Russia for that. It's and then plus the Middle East, that's just always been a hotspot, man. That's like your tickle button, right? Let's get something stirred up over in the Middle East, man. A day in the life. Yeah. I mean, this is like.
Well, like I said, it's nice outside your front door, and I like that positive attitude. I live my day in life one day at a time. But like I said, if a person isn't, jerking off to porn or watching TV all day long, they could, find out what's really happening around them because.
Hey, you got to stay informed, but don't let it eat you up. You got to. Don't let it eat you up.
No, don't let it eat you up, but stay informed, man, because it'll get, in case shit does go sideways, you've got a chance to get gas, you've got a chance to get food, water, to prepare. But if you can see what's boiling, and I see what's happening on this side of the world and this one, and I see the person mainly involved with getting these 2 sides going, and that's this great country we live in, and I see what's going on. Something is up,
And you guys got to know, everybody's got to know out there, the first big bang that happens anywhere in the world, I don't care where it's at, gas prices are going to shoot through the roof within 20 minutes. So, yeah, if you catch wind of it happening, get out there and fill your cars up as fast as you fucking can and get some extra canned goods to throw in the cabinet and shit. And, Anyway.
Well, especially Iran, because as soon as the war starts with them, they're going to try to mine the Straits of Hormuz.
Well, even North Korea, they're just going to say, war? Let's go up to $5 a gallon. Hurry up.
Oh, that alone. But they said that if a war with Iran's to break out within 24 hours, Americans will be paying, and this was estimates from last year, might even be higher now. They said Americans will be paying anything, depending where you live. You'll be paying anything from $6 to like $15 to $20 for a gallon of gas.
Oh, yeah, the big cities will jack it way up.
And they said that's just within 24 hours of a war starting.
Yep.
With Iran.
It's going to get ugly.
That's going to be a brutal war too. Iran's a pretty big powerhouse too, like North Korea. These 2 countries aren't like Iraq or Syria or Afghanistan. These are 2 countries that can put up a fight. Plus, look who's behind them: Russia and China. And this is the war that the elite are pushing for. This is what Kissinger is telling Trump every time he calls him. Let's do this now. Everything's is just a move on the big chessboard. Let's do this now. Let's do this now.
And it's amazing because the stock market's not even reacting to it, you know.
Well, you know what worries me is this Bitcoin. You know, it went down today a lot. It took a nosedive.
8%.
But the deal is, I think that's a sucker's game, man. I think they're out to suck every cent they can from gullible people.
Absolutely. I feel the exact same way, and I have since, I don't know, for a long time now. I thought of, you know, the whole electronic thing. I can't wrap my mind around it being all based on numbers and electronics and a bunch of geeks mining shit on a computer. I don't know. I tried studying the blockchain theory and reading about it and trying to justify any value to it at all, and I can't justify any value to it at all. So I think that all these people that are Bitcoin millionaires right now, good on you, man, but I hope you people know when to get out of the game, because if you don't know when to get out of the game, you're going to lose your motherfucking ass. There's people out there now that are taking mortgages out on their house to buy cryptos.
Yep.
Just insane, man. And that's how you know that it's a game. That's how you know it's a game. As soon as the stock market wanted to dip into it, I was like, here we go, man. They're going to get everybody used to having electronic currency so that when they crash everything, the banks can come out with this new electronic currency and they go, it's just as good as Bitcoin and it's just as safe and but it's ours.
Oh, yeah, I believe that's going to happen, too.
Okay.
It's a fool's paradise, man.
Lance, what are your thoughts on it, man?
I think there's a rival. I've read it. I think it was on RT yesterday. There's another cryptocurrency that's rivaling Bitcoin, and it's surged.
Ethereum.
I don't know, 16. Is that what it is?
Ethereum.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But my whole thing is, if Bitcoin, and I'm sure there's an answer, but, you know.
I'm just talking about cryptos in general. I think they're all a fucking scam.
If Bitcoin and nobody controls it and it's peer this, peer that, who's making the fucking Bitcoins and passing them out?
There's only 21 million that are ever going to be mined, ever.
But the actual coin, I mean, who makes them? Why?
It's
I mean,
all
how
these
are they
kids
made? How
with
are
these,
they distributed?
Yeah, it's these.
I don't get it.
They've got these big warehouses now that are full of computers that are going through all this computer code.
Who's they? Who's they?
You don't even know this Satoshi Nakamoto cat who supposedly invented the blockchain. That's a pseudonym. Nobody even knows who the fuck that is. That's what I'm saying.
The Federal Reserve.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
The Federal Reserve is making coins too and shit like that.
Exactly.
So I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's too hinky for me. Although I still do say that I wish you and I would have bought a couple back when they were $100. I still say that to this day because I would be cashing out about now. You know.
Yeah, I remember we probably would have done it a while ago, but I mean, I remember that when we had Dave on the show, they were around that low.
There was
my buddy Dave.
Yeah, there was people. There are people out there now that are predicting that in 2018 it's going to make it to $60,000 a unit. And that's unfathomable, man. You know, that's $1 trillion market cap for one crypto. Just one. I don't know. It's just too. It's rocketing entirely too fast. The shit's only been around for 10 years, not even 10 years. I don't know. No.
Well, would she say? The Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen, she came out today and she said Bitcoin's a highly speculative asset that isn't subject to regulation by the U.S. Central Bank.
Mr. AK said Satoshi is Alan Greenspan. That could actually play out to be pretty accurate because Greenspan was a mathematical genius back when he was younger, right? All kinds of people had him working for them. So that could actually be feasible. No internet until 2 a.m., Lori says. The wind took something out of her house and she lost her interweb. So I guess repairs won't be done until 2 a.m. Everybody say bye to Lori. Bye, Lori. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay. Moving on.
There was a video out today I watched on RT. It's a video of Russian National Guard and Chinese armed police doing a series of joint tactical drills with each other in China.
Say that again.
The Russian police, Russian military style, with Russian National Guard and Chinese armed police, they conducted a series of joint tactical training drills in Chinese city today. Chinese city of Yinchuan.
Is that right close to the North Korean border by any chance?
I have no idea. It wouldn't surprise me.
Everybody, all these drills going on. You know, we've been doing drills since January, you know, all over the planet. And to be $20 trillion in debt, to still have all the money to do all these drills, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. If we're that far in debt, all of our boats ought to be in dock, you know, and all of our sailors and soldiers and stuff should be on furlough so they don't get paid and they can go home and get a job and try to boost the economy a little bit in this country until we get back on our feet and shit. You know, I'm just saying.
This drill with Russia and China, I looked it up. The city they had it in is closer to Mongolia than anything.
Mongolia. Does that have anything to do with the Mongolian clusterfuck?
I don't know. Maybe that's just where the Chinese training grounds are.
Oh, boy. So we still got like 40 minutes. What else are we going to talk about? No, you're not going outside until I'm done with the show. I can see my dog.
So what do you think of that video the police released of them shooting that guy in that hotel hallway?
I think that was...
that guy was begging for his life.
Yeah.
They killed an innocent man. I think that they should both have been prosecuted for murder, but they found him innocent. The one cop that shot him, the cop with the body cam on, he actually got fired by the police, you know, when the incident happened. But he got found not guilty by the courts just a couple days back. His sergeant, that guy doesn't need to be a cop. That guy's a power-tripping fucking douchebag of a human being, you know. I saw a little blurb today on, I think it was Cop Watch or something. They said, you know, why didn't they go cuff him when he was laying face down on the fucking ground with his hands behind his head like they should have? So the whole crawl towards me, don't fuck up or we're going to kill you, blah, blah, blah. You know, we're going to react and you might not survive. That's all just, that's...
That'd scare the shit out of anybody laying there on the ground, the cop yelling that at you.
Yeah. Somebody said that
I
the
feel
dust
sorry
shield...
for the guy. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know the whole backstory, I guess.
I feel sorry for his
Something
kids
that
and his
he was
wife.
waving a BB gun in the air out his window at that hotel and someone reported it. And
Yeah.
It was a pellet gun for his pest control business. It was a varmint rifle.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. It was just completely over the top
just more
violence.
bold cops.
Yep. So I saw somewhere that the cop that shot him, the kid with the camera, on the dust shield of his M4, it said, "You're fucked." So, yeah. And he was all tatted up and like he was some kind of, you know...
I think he was ex-Marine.
Big boogeyman.
Ex-Marine, they said.
Jarhead.
I still thought he was in Iraq or Afghanistan, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I say Jarhead full of love, because I was with him, you know. We did a lot of sorties together and stuff. All right. What are your thoughts on that, David? Do you think that they should have been prosecuted?
Oh, hell yeah. They should have been charged for fucking murder.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I
They
don't have a
knew-
big beef against the cops. I think some of them are there legitimately, but you get these rogue ones like this that just piss you off, man. And that's what. And the police say, well, why are people so scared of us? Well, maybe this is the reason why.
Yeah.
Maybe you weren't out murdering innocent fucking people. People wouldn't be. When a cop's driving behind you down a road, you shouldn't have to be scared about that.
No.
And most people are. Most people get nervous, and you shouldn't be that way because those fuckers work for us.
Right. And the fact,
But you don't know if you're going to get one come out to your fucking window of your car and all of a sudden put a gun to your head and fucking
shoot
kill
you in
you.
the fucking head, yeah. Or show up at your house for some random reason because they got the wrong address and kill your dog in front of your kids or something. It's ridiculous.
That too, I really don't like it. They're dog killers, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather I hate to say that, I'd rather see a person shot than a dog.
The fact, because the dog, unless the dog's latched onto the cop's
Unless
leg,
he's biting people.
Right,
and shit.
right.
But if he's a family pet and you come to that house and shoot the fucking dog and
the dog's going to walk up to you and bark. You're at his place. That's it. If the dog walks up to him and barks, they kill him. That's the dog's
really
job.
Upsets me to no end, man.
Yep.
I fucking
But the
love
fact that
dogs,
that the court systems let all these fucking rogue cops go, I've seen a couple of prosecutions over the last year or two, which were completely deserved, but the majority of them, 90% of them, they just say, he's all right. It was a good shoot. The guy that killed the 17-year-old kid sitting in his car, and the kid looks at him and goes, "What are you going to do? Shoot me?" And the fucking cop killed him.
Yep.
They let him go, even though his parents got what, $20 million or something. The cop got found not guilty. We are living in Babylon, people. If you haven't come to that realization yet, man, it's so blatantly obvious. It's right in front of all your faces. We are living in Babylon. And, judgment's coming down on this country in all kinds of different ways, man.
I believe that.
California's burning to the fucking ground. It's burning to the fucking ground, Southern California. Where do you think all these Hollywood pedophiles and shit live? Southern California. The whole thing about the lasers coming out of the skies and stuff, I've seen, I posted one picture and I didn't take it back down. Somebody commented on it. I didn't really look at it very good before I posted it, but I'd heard comments about it earlier in the day, so I went ahead and put it up on my wall. Somebody commented on it that it looked like a ladder truck shooting a hose, and it kind of does. If you stop and really look at it, it kind of does. It looks like a ladder truck up in the air and a hose and a stream of, whatever. There's other videotape out there where it's completely obvious that there's something being fired at the ground from the air, and when it hits the ground, it makes this huge white spot on the ground, and then all of a sudden there's flames. So there's actual visual evidence, recorded evidence, video evidence of these directed energy weapons or lasers or whatever you want to call them that are being used out there. And the fire departments are even acknowledging it, that these fires are acting completely anomalous. There's no reason for them to react the way they react. So, you see some of the pictures. Straight down the street, every single fucking building is burnt to the ground, but the trees that are in the backyards or on the street are not touched. They're still green. The yards around the house are still green. Come on, people. Anyway, moving on. You got any comments on the California fires? Either of you? Lance?
No, it was started by, they say now, a homeless people's campfire.
Oh, is that right?
That's what was on the news tonight.
Wow.
They still burning or what? I haven't seen.
Fuck
nothing
yeah,
about
man.
it.
There's some of them are getting more intense by the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're still burning. They're going to be burning for weeks, I think. Because the Santa Anas are still blowing, and that ain't going to help anything. They're not supposed to, receive any major rainfall for the next several weeks. So, yeah, I guess it's going to keep going. A lot of innocent people in the line, you know. That's the only thing that really sucks. A lot of innocent people losing a lot of shit right before the pagan holidays. Frequency dew weapons. Yeah, that's what they're calling them now, is dew weapons, Mark. Directed energy weapons. Sandy said she just went and checked the bookmark for Bitcoin prices. She said, I made it back when I first became interested in them. The bookmark saved at $155. That's not actually that long ago. A couple years, maybe. I don't know. 2011, I think, is when it first came on the scene, and it broke $1. I think it broke $1 in 2011. And it's just been going exponential since then, man. I could see 20 grand before Christmas, probably. Depends on how things go. It already broke it once and then came right back down, but I could see it sitting up above $20,000 for before Christmas. They're bashing the shit out of silver and gold again. Silver's back down under $16 when I checked earlier today. It's just crazy, man. Everything's upside down. Ruby asks, how could the homes and businesses burn and not the trees and grass? A lot of questions. Well, I mean, if the weapon's directed straight at the structure, it's only going to ignite the structure, right? If it burns intensely enough and doesn't have time to spread to anything else except for the structure that was struck, then there you go, you know. I don't know. I've never seen them actually live in person used, right? So I really don't know. This is all new technology to me. But people got some pretty good stories, I guess you could say, about it happening. And they've got some video evidence. It's kind of like spontaneous human combustion. I know that shit's real. My dad was a firefighter all his life. I chased him around all kinds of different places. I've never seen spontaneous human combustion. But I've seen a lot of articles and stuff on it, you know, from magazines and stuff that he used to get, and stories. I've heard a lot of stories. And, you know, people can be sitting in a chair and their body burn up completely to dust, and the chair's just kind of scorched, and there's really no, you know, no other flame marks anywhere in the room. The floor's not burnt. The wall's not burnt behind them, just them. So, I don't know. Strange shit happens. Yeah, Mark said
that was experimentation with energy weapons way back when.
What was do? Oh, spontaneous human combustion.
No, yeah, spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, kick the door into the room, walk over, and go. Hey, shit works. Mark says we're at war, just doesn't seem like it yet. Silent with no bullets and missiles. You're probably about right. You know, everybody's talking about the New World Order. The New World Order is coming. The New World Order. The New World Order is already here. It's already here. We've been living in it for decades already, because they do whatever the fuck they want. They don't listen to the people. They get you suckered into voting every 4 years, every 2 years, whatever. And then as soon as they're in office, they do whatever the fuck they want, and we let them. So we're to blame. The people are to blame for everything that's going on. If we'd have stood up way back when and took the power back like it's supposed to be, none of this shit would be going on. If we stand up now and claim the power back, I'm pretty sure that we could stop them in their tracks. But people just ain't interested in it. Very few people are interested in that.
Now, the majority need a ruler.
Because they can't think for themselves anymore, man. They've been dumbed down.
Keep themselves in line.
Yeah, they've been dumbed down. They have no. Wow, Lance just got dropped. He must have made a good point. There he is. He's back. Yeah, it's sad, that there's no critical thinking left in this country. The majority of the men out there couldn't change their own fucking tire on their car if they had to. Sad. Very sad. All right, we still got a half hour to fill, guys. So let's keep going on something.
Well, this just came out. It says North Korea claims Trump noisily crying out for war following Tillerson talk offers. And it says North Korea state newspaper Rodong Sinmun published a piece. That's their state newspaper. Published a piece accusing U.S. President Donald Trump of noisily crying out for military counteraction against Pyongyang, a day after Secretary of State Rex Tillerson invited North Korean diplomats to a talk without preconditions.
You just said that. As soon as Tillerson says something, Trump comes out and trumps him.
And they went on to say, it says the Trump group's call for military attack on the DPRK is no more than last-ditch efforts of those taken aback by the tremendous nuclear deterrence of the Juche Korea, which Juche means nuclear. The piece read on Wednesday says, referring to North Korea by its official name, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and referring to the communist Kim regime's ideology of self-reliance or Juche. And it says the Trump group is in a position to drink a bitter cup of defeat in the nuclear showdown between the DPRK and the U.S. Therefore, their military hysteria is adding to extreme apprehension and despair of the U.S. society. That's what they've said, and that's their answer to what Tillerson said yesterday, and then Trump stepping on his dick.
Always.
So you got to wonder what's going on here. I mean, is this a good cop, bad cop thing going on, or is Trump just going rogue and just doing this?
They trying to cause a division in the administration? Like people back in Tillerson, people back in Trump. You just don't know.
Well,
I still think it's the same thing that you said, though. They're leading us to war.
Tillerson's when they called him a fucking moron.
He is a moron.
And then and then you had you got Sessions that have said shit too, and you've got a few other, and Paul Ryan has said shit about Trump. Obviously, he's a hard guy to get along with. And if you don't get along with him, then he comes out and fucking trolls you publicly.
Right.
Like a little kid.
Until he decides to fire you. Yeah. Until he decides he's the bully on the high school or on the school playground.
His big Mid-East lady announced her resignation yesterday, officially January 1st. She's not going to have anything to do with Trump's Mid-East policy anymore. She's stepping down. His girl from The Apprentice, Omarosa, that he loves so much and he gave a job to, got fired today.
Got fired.
Got rid of her. So, his whole, like I said, I don't fall for the left-right paradigm. I just don't. And I'll say bad things if this was a Democratic president, and this is just stupidity. I'm sorry. It's our government is finished.
We've become completely complacent to what they do on Capitol. We treat them like millionaires and kings, and it wasn't ever supposed to be that way, man. They weren't ever supposed to have this much power. They weren't ever supposed to have this much clout. When I saw Sarah Huckabee wagging her fucking finger at somebody that was trying to ask her a question, going, I'm not done. No, what you are, bitch, is a public servant. And that cat that's out there in the audience trying to ask you a question, he pays your fucking salary. Wag your fucking finger at me. And they all act that way. You try to question their authority, and then all of a sudden you're some kind of terrorists, right? Shame on us for letting it get this way.
Well, it's like Bush said, you're either with us or you're a terrorist.
Yep. Because he knew, his daddy was the head of the CIA. His daddy helped get Kennedy killed and never fucking served a day. Can't believe that old bastard's still alive too, man.
Yeah, he served 12 years.
Well, yeah. But do you think if Bush dies, if Kissinger dies, if any more of the Rockefellers die, do you think any of it's going to change? It's not going to fucking change. It's not going to change. They've been doing this shit since the days of Rome, man. You know, it's never going to change because the people are too apathetic. We're too interested in money and greed and whatever. The next fucking distraction coming down the road, our sports, our fast cars, our alcohol, or whatever. There's always something, It's not people don't give a fuck about their freedom anymore. They just want a paycheck. I know that he was asking stupid questions, Saint. I get that. But that's beside the point. Public servants should not act that way to the people that they serve. I don't give a shit if you're a cop or a judge or a fucking lawyer, a public defender lawyer. I don't give a shit who you are. If you're in a public servant's position, you should act like it. That was the point I was trying to make. Go ahead.
That's the whole deal. Try to call a senator on his phone line and see if he actually calls you back.
Never. Not unless you're a $1 million donor.
You get a standard form letter that was signed by an assistant thanking you for your question.
Yeah, signed with a rubber stamp.
No, they have real flunkies that really sign them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, by his personal secretary.
His page or whatever they call them.
Yeah,
robo-pin letter.
Oh yeah, the robo-pin. Yeah, we found out about that with Obama.
I wrote my congressman a long time ago about something. I got a robo-pin letter back. Some generic letter you can tell some computer printed out.
Yeah, random form letter. They just insert name here. Dear Mr. Woozy What's It.
We hear your concerns and we will take them into consideration. Have a great day.
That's the same shit you get back when you send in some kind of FOIA request. We'll take a look at your request in 6 weeks and let you know in another 6 after that.
I think this is interesting. It shows you how Orwellian things are really getting to be. You got the Winter Olympics coming up over in South Korea in February. They're doing the torch carry now, and they're showing a robot carrying the Olympic torch in part of the relay now. That's how Orwellian we're getting when you got a robot carrying the torch for part of the way.
I just saw a thing from TrueStream Media that the SPCA in San Francisco has a robot patrolling their parking lot to keep the homeless people from setting up tents and shit out there.
Huh.
They're pushing AI, man. They're pushing AI hard. All kinds of movies coming out about it. They're pushing Bitcoin hard. Every time you're watching a YouTube video, that fucking dude with the really wild ass hairs coming on about every third video, telling you that there's $200 trillion worth of other cryptos out there, blah, blah, blah. They're pushing it all. They want everybody to merge with a computer. They don't want you to be human anymore because they can control you better when you're part electronic.
Yeah.
They're going to get it, too. They're going to get it done, man. When they're pushing these robots that people want to, look how many people got the Alexa thing from Google already, or the Amazon robot that you can just talk to and have them turn on your stereo or whatever the fuck. They're going to get it. They're going to get most everybody because they're going to say, everybody's got to have their own personal slave. Women,
Your
women
TV
know you want
remote
it.
control can do that now.
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
You women know you want a
too.
slave. You can just get out of bed and tell that thing to clean your house and cook your dinner and let you go on your merry way, do your thing all day. You know, they'll take your dogs
It's
out.
like
and
Rosie.
Water
from
your
the
fucking
Jetsons.
yeah, exactly. Rosie from the Jetsons. Everybody's gonna have one. Everybody's gonna want one. That's how they're gonna get you all to get it. It's gonna be a convenience.
Unless you're talking about Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh fuck.
Not quite.
But that's how they're gonna do it. You know that's how they're gonna do it. Look, they're over in Japan. They're already starting with the sex robots, so they can get all the fucking horny guys that they ain't got a girlfriend involved, right?
Well, yeah, they got them over in Europe. They're starting too, those brothels of those sex robots.
Yeah, there you go, Sandy. Slaughterbots will become a reality.
I couldn't be drunk enough or high enough to have sex with a robot, man.
Oh, I'd try it.
You'd fuck a wet sock, dude, if it holds still
Damn, you're
long enough.
hardcore, Lance.
Damn
Hardcore.
right.
Damn. Wake up the next morning, you're naked laying next to a robot.
With your dick shredded.
Well, I'd rather wake up next to a robot than some of the stuff I've woken up next to.
Hey, man, you
To
laid
be
down with
totally
it.
fair.
You laid down with it, so that's that's just desserts, right? One too many
Hey, man,
cerveza.
they never look the same at night that they do in the morning.
Yeah.
So you must just like pick one of these robots, pay somebody for like an hour or something, I guess. Is that how it works?
I don't know, man. Ask Lance. He was just over there.
I only saw the real thing. I didn't see any robots.
No, none of them ones. Little black and white fucking digital chick swinging around a pole.
No, it was just real good looking girls.
Yeah. Did they all have their AIDS card that had been signed off by the man saying that they were clean and fresh?
Mm-hmm. It's on their wall next to the sink above the mirror.
Isn't that convenient?
Yeah,
Just like a diploma. I graduated from my AIDS course.
It's like an elevator certificate.
Yeah.
They had them in the Philippines when I went there at the different bars, showing they had their health cards that they were clean.
Got the little
I think there's a
consecutive
lot of
dates across the
unregulated
bottom and
places
shit
in
like
the
the
Philippines too.
They got the little consecutive dates across the bottom like they do on the gas pumps where the guy just comes in there with a card and punches it every fucking 6 months or whatever.
Yeah, it's like an elevator certificate.
That's reassuring.
You know, I know those girls weren't really that as clean as they said. I don't know how many guys on our ship got herpes.
Oh
Yeah, there's some unregulated ones in the Philippines, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
What was it they
When
used
you're
to?
drunk enough and don't give a shit, you don't think about it until you get the clap with herpes, man.
Mark, that was Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia gave the citizenship to Sophia, the robot Sophia, and now she wants to have children. Ricky says, take the wrapper off of your cell phone battery and see if it has an electronic circuit attached to it. Some of those electronic circuit things aren't exactly tracking software. Some phones have a magnetic charging capability, and you can just throw it down on a pad, and it'll magnetically charge instead of having to actually plug the phone in. So some of those batteries that got the circuit board on the back of them, that's what those are. Usually, if it's attached to the battery, it's usually a magnetic charging system. The software for tracking you is going to be inside the phone somewhere. At least that's what I know. I might be completely wrong. All right, we still got 15 minutes, man. 13 minutes. What else you got over there, David?
Well, Iran came out today and called on all Muslim nations to defend Palestinians after Trump move. The Iranian President Hassan Rouhani said on Wednesday all Muslim nations should work together to defend the rights of the Palestinians following Donald Trump's decision last week to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. And it says he was attending an emergency meeting of Muslim leaders. Said the U.S. president's move showed the United States lacked any respect for the legitimate rights of the Palestinian nation.
That's absolutely correct.
It says Iran is ready to cooperate with all Muslim countries without any preconditions to defend the legitimate rights of Palestinians.
The Palestinians move before the UN.
Is very important, and Jerusalem should become our top priority. So you got Iran basically declaring war against America, against Israel.
Didn't Palestine apply for a full UN membership just a couple days after Trump ran his mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to get shitty, man.
I wonder how the tides would turn if the Palestinian people received the amount of money that we gave the Israeli people on a yearly basis. You know, if we just stopped funding Israel and turn that money down to the Palestinians, I just wonder how things would change.
Well,
because they're people, they're not dogs. No matter what the fucking Israelis tell you. Anyway. It's going to get worse. You guys know that, right?
So what do you think about this net neutrality coming on?
I think they're going to get it to go through.
Yeah.
You know, when we turned
your
over,
big companies are going to control the internet.
When we turned the DNS over to a foreign country, that was the end of it back then. It just took them this long to implement it, you know. And the reason they're doing it now is because they're getting ready to play their final cards, and they can't have the internet out there. They can't have you being able to access any information that you want to access. They have to throttle it back. They have to throttle it back. Oh, no, you've had all the truth you can handle for today, man. We can't let you access that website no more. Oh, God, no, you can't access that website ever again because we don't like what they have to say about us.
Well, I'm seeing a lot more sites now with paywalls, too. They give you one story, then after that, you got to pay for it.
Yeah, yeah. They used to do that. I mean, they've been doing that for years. Like, you got 5 more articles you can read, 4 more articles.
That's how it kind of started.
Yep. What do you think about it, Lance? Net neutrality.
Same thing you do. I mean, they have to limit our ability to find out how corrupt that they are. And there's just too much of an awakening. They've lost control. That's their only way to get control back, is to be able to have one company making the newspaper and one company making the news and feed you a line of shit. That's the only way to make it.
But those two companies work for the same people. Those two companies have to work for the same people. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Hillary Clinton. Yeah. Hillary Clinton laid it out plain as day when she was Secretary of State to Obama. She said, "We are in an information war, and we are losing that war." And she was dead on the fucking money back then. They were losing that war because people were catching all kinds of fucking shit, man. You know, and they still are. All these assholes that are talking on Capitol Hill, back in the day, they were talking on tape too, and a lot of that tape's still available to be found. And you can tell that they're just completely full of shit because they are completely 180 degrees now from what they were back then. It's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. They're all a bunch of fucking liars. They're all a bunch of Satanists. They're all a bunch of fucking pedophiles. They're all a bunch of sexual deviants. And they're running the fucking country. They're running the whole fucking show. Because it ain't just in the U.S. If you think this is all just in the U.S., no. This is going to go worldwide, man.
Well, they're going to vote on this on Thursday. So tomorrow, I said it's going to pass.
Yeah, if they take my channel down, they take my channel down, man. I'll just go away. I'm not going to go to DTube or whatever. I'm not going to fight anymore. I don't like being a quitter, but it's just not worth my time anymore. I got better things to do with my time than try to fight these motherfuckers just to get my word out. If they're going to silence me, they're going to silence me on the web. They're not going to silence me locally here. I'll never shut the fuck up. I'll never shut up. But they ain't even looking at me. I've never even caught a strike. I'm not monetized, but, I've never even caught a strike. I've been playing Destiny Labs music for several weeks now, and I haven't heard a freaking thing from them about any kind of copyright shit or nothing, because I got the email ready to go that's all signed by them that says I can use it. Because I'm just waiting for that day, because I'll be right back in their face with it. But yeah, I think I might have 100 and something subscribers. I'm itty bitty. They ain't looking at me. But there's a lot of channels out there that are getting squashed,
Yeah.
And it sucks too, because now I got to hustle around to try to find some of the information that I want to find. It's not available on YouTube anymore. But that's all right. For now. I heard you quit doing shows again. I thought you were still doing your shows on that other channel, but you're not doing it anymore?
Not really, man. I'm pretty much done with everything. Except, I'll come on and talk on this, but I don't know, just my health and stuff. I just don't.
You're getting like me,
have the
man.
passion for it anymore.
Yeah, you're getting like me. We've been spewing it for so long. It's old hat, and all the people that are going to listen, they're already listening to us. If anybody else is going to get woke up, they're going to get woke up by one of these big channels. Let them do all the waking up. It's a young man's game now. But I'll stick it out for as long as I can. If they really start harassing me or something on here, then I'm not gonna fight it. Fuck them. They can have it. Oh yeah, the Leonid showers with some kind of meteor showers tonight from midnight until sunrise. Or I guess the best viewing is supposed to be after midnight. And the majority of this country is supposed to be pretty clear. So
cold as hell here, man. I can stand outside for maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, if you got the passion, go out there and give it a look.
I think it's cloudy too.
Is it?
We just had an ice storm this morning.
It's been kind of up and down here. It'll dip down into the upper 20s some nights, and then the next day it gets up into the 60s. It was 60 today, almost 60 today. Felt really good. The last couple of days had been bouncing around in the 70s. That's what I love about living down south, halfway south. I'm mid-south, right? The winters don't last very long, and you usually don't get a shit ton of snow, and growing season's much more extended than the northern.
Shit, when it's 35 here this time of year, it feels like 60 or 70.
Right. Yeah.
You
get
really
a couple of weeks
especially
of that.
when the wind ain't blowing, man.
Right. You become acclimatized to that super cold weather, and then, once it gets above freezing, you're like, holy shit, it's time to go out in shorts.
Pretty much, man. If that north wind isn't blowing, this is my, 30th, 31st winter here. I still hate them. They suck, man.
Yikes.
God, they suck.
You getting pretty cold out there on the coast too, hey, Lance?
It's about, like I said, 11 degrees with the wind chill here. It didn't get above 25, but we'll be back up in the 60s again tomorrow and the next day.
Cool. Just a little.
So it was just a 1 day cold spell as a thing came through. Yeah. That's it.
Everybody freaked out and ran out to get their bread and milk.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
They do that around here too, man. If there's any hint of ice coming or a little bit of snow on the ground that's going to actually stick around for a minute, yeah, everybody freaks the fuck out, and the grocery stores are empty for 3 days, and then it turns out to be nothing, So.
Everybody hits the liquor stores up here when the storms come.
They do that here too. Yeah, they got liquor and cigarettes and bread and milk. So you can have those milk sandwiches and enjoy a good smoke afterwards. It takes 7 years to climatize, Saint said. 7 years? No, I don't think so, man. I got acclimatized up in Alaska pretty fucking quick. It didn't take me 7 years, man. Well, the first time I ever moved super far south too, when I moved from the Midwest down to Texas, that was a change too. The whole barometric pressure change and all that. I was sick for about 3 fucking days. It was ugly.
That'd be the thing about being a truck driver. You'd be all confused going from here to there to here to there.
Yeah, it was ugly. Up and down the mountains and shit. Barometric pressure changes. Ears popping all the time. You're not going out until I dump the show, man. I already told you that 4 times. I don't care how cute you are.
Well, it's like I got a friend that drives truck. He was up in northern Minnesota yesterday, and he has to be down in southern Texas in a couple days.
Yeah, it messes with you. You know, that's why you try to keep the inside of the truck at constant temperature so that you don't get that cold and hot and catch pea pneumonia. You're not going out, Tippy. I just told Angus, and I'm telling you. You got, 2 minutes, man. You can hang on for 2 more minutes.
All right, what do you think about Trump wanting to send someone to the moon and Mars?
I saw that on the chat room, and I that's the first I'd ever heard of that. I didn't know that he was even going to try it.
They signed an order for it the other day.
I know that Tesla said that he was going to send one of his fucking cars to Mars. So, yeah. We've never been to the moon. So if they make it up there this time, hey, good on them. How about that? We haven't been to the moon. We can't go there. It's too far away. It's just not. It's not in our capability. We can't do it.
I just don't understand why. I don't understand why we need to know anything about, about moon or Mars. Who cares? We're on Earth. We're not on the moon or Mars.
Yeah. Well, it's not attainable anyway. It's just not. It's not. That's not our realm. We're not supposed to be there.
They think that if this planet collapses, they're going to colonize the moon or Mars. I heard you'd have to live underneath the damn surface to survive.
Well, according to them, man, you can take Polaroids and lay them on the fucking ground up there. It's just, it's just a bunch of sand and stuff. They go up there in an aluminum can that was just made of aluminum, just aluminum. So, yeah, whatever. But yeah, it's, if they make it, good on them. Good on them. It's just going to be a bunch of Hollywood bullshit. CGI is so far advanced now that it's fooling people every day. I remember during the spring and going into summer, I saw so many fake tornado videos being posted. Did you guys see this today? It was horrible. Fuck off. Yeah. So whatever. The alien agenda, right? We'll go up there and we'll knock on the moon, and some dude will come up to one of the holes and go, "Hey, what do you want?" And then they'll say, "Hey, look, we're surrounded by aliens now." So there you go. All right, we made it through. Lance just jumped off. Like, I guess he was like, "Fuck, it's 10 o'clock. I'm gone." So. Anyway, Lori, thank you for coming on for the little bit of time that you could. There's Lance. He came back. Lance, thanks for popping on and popping off.
Yeah, it dropped off.
I appreciate you too, brother. I guess your internet don't like the cold. David, you're awesome as always. You know that.
Thanks, Jimmy.
I appreciate you guys more than you know. All right. I'm going to play the Going Out song, so you guys will have to put up with me for another 3 minutes and 40 seconds after I hang up on these two, which I'm going to do right now.
Peace,
guys.
Peace and love.
Take care, Lance. Take care, Jimmy.
See you, brother.
See you. Okie dokie. Now that that's done, I'll look you guys all in the eye, and I'll say, until I see you next time, maybe Saturday, maybe next Wednesday, I don't know, we'll see. Love, peace, and cookies.
Evolution teaches that we came from a primordial soup. Billions and billions of years ago, we evolved from single-cell bacteria.
Smoke weed every day.
Beginning to overcome the minds of the young. It goes by the name of evolution. Invading all of education, tricking them to listen to Darwinian fiction. Sorry, Charlie, these tricks off for kids. You can't trick the truth, cause I just blew off the lid. See now, everyone wants to know exactly where we came from. Was it really God, or all we just paused on? Charlie says you and me came from the sea. Swim on the land until we turned to chimpanzees. Charlie, please, what's in between? Ever seen a half giraffe, kangaroo with penguin wings? Or what about a platypus? Explain it to us. The fossils that travel vertically in the Earth's crust. Why do we listen? Human amnesia. What we're missing is the knowledge that feeds ya. 10 trillion years of evolution can never account for the creation that we live in. 10 trillion years of evolution cannot account for the creation that we live in. 10 trillion years of evolution can never account for the creation that we live in. 10 trillion years of evolution cannot account for the creation that we live in. Some scientists don't really know any more than your mama. Fighting with each other like trauma from a soap opera. Single science from the minds of grown monkeys. They're dabbling in lies, they're nuts like Jif Chunky. 98% of people claim belief in God, but asked if they believe in evolution, they applaud. That's contradictory, that's called hypocrisy. It's fairy tale time in every university. You could get brainwashed in every major college. Graduate a grown-up monkey with man's knowledge. Where do we come from? Little shocked amoebas? Can it be true that people really do believe this? 10 trillion years of evolution could never account for the creation that we live in. 10 trillion years of evolution cannot account for the creation that we live in. 10 trillion years of evolution could never account for the creation that we live in. 10 trillion years of evolution cannot account for the creation that we live in. The creation that surrounds us astounds us, but we give glory to ourselves and that's outlandish. We give glory to the earth, glory to the stars, glory to some insignificant rock from Mars. Glory to creation, not creator. Tell me how you get a painting unless you have a painter. How you get a sculpture unless you have a sculptor. How you get a Luke unless you have Darth Vader. Just one way, the narrow path to the kingdom. It's not religion, it's the truth I believe in. Wheels of religion do not spoke to the center. You cannot choose through which God you may enter. Caught in a whirlwind of indecision known as pluralism. A vision that will leave you unforgiven. For he has risen and freed us from this prison. I know that when I die, my life's just beginning.